Today we will be talking about games we won't see for a very long time. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and it is technically still, well, actually, it's not. It's not Friday anymore, but it is Friday, January 15th for the purposes of this video. And that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Like I said in the cold open, we will be talking about games that won't be coming for quite some time. But we got a lot of news, we got a lot of things to look forward to in the gaming space. Ubisoft announced a partnership with Star Wars. Lucasfilm is starting to build out a games arm. I think this is more for the games licensing arm, but something you'll see when you see Star Wars credits rolling on video games going forward is you'll see Lucasfilm Games. So I think they've kind of built out their own game licensing arm, and apparently people besides EA are going to be working on them. Read a couple articles saying that EA will still be working on Star Wars games, but Ubisoft is now also working on an open world Star Wars game. So my first inclination was Assassin's Creed Jedi, and that concept actually jived with me. I thought that kind of seemed cool. Maybe as more of a gray Jedi than a Sith or proper Jedi, but I thought that sounded kind of cool. You could do something weird with the short saber, kind of stabby mechanism, but I don't know that that's the direction they're going. But that's just kind of the first thought I had. But yeah, an open world Star Wars game would be great. I enjoyed Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, but that felt a little bit more linear and something more open world and something more exploring. Potentially something that I can create my own character in. That's kind of one of the things I think that's been missing in a lot of recent Star Wars games is I feel like people, it's Star Wars especially, want to build their own character, and they kind of know what they want to be within that universe because it's been around for 50 years. So people just kind of already know what they want to be, and so they want to build their own character in there, and not that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order didn't fill its need or have its own niche, but I just think people kind of want to be able to make the characters that they have in their head, especially when they engage with Star Wars. But I played it, I enjoyed it, I enjoyed running around as Cal Kestis. So yeah, let me know what you think. What kind of Star Wars character are you down below? Not to be outdone, but Bethesda also announced a big, again with Lucasfilm kind of as the partner. Bethesda announced that they will be working on the Indiana Jones game that is coming out somewhere in the future. So this is, I believe, his studio is Machine Games. That's the studio behind all the recent Wolfenstein games. So they said that this won't be affecting Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6. Then they're taking on this kind of new project. So it sounds interesting. We've already seen something like a Indiana Jones game. You have kind of the Lara Croft games, which kind of feel a lot like an Indiana Jones game. Nathan Drake and Uncharted definitely feel like Indiana Jones. So this one will just be, I hope it's something more than just kind of the actual IP on top of kind of an Uncharted game. So to get that kind of the exploration and the archaeology, kind of that aspect of it, to get that right, get some little lore in there, but still have your hokey moments of blowing up a tank or looking at the Ark of the Covenant or whatever. So looking forward to what that looks like. And as always, I'm a Bethesda fanboy, so I'm always interested in what they are working on. CES was also this week, the Consumer Electronics Show. Not typically a hotbed of gaming news, but some things did come out of it that we kind of want to talk about. Sony released their slate, which seemed pretty interesting, but Sony kind of put out just as a title slot, just a title card at the end of their presentation. They just had like their 2021 slate. They had Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart listed as coming out in 2021. They had Horizon Forbidden West also listed as 2021, but that's all they had. They didn't have a month. They didn't have a time frame. They talked about Little Devils Inside coming out in July and Ghostwire Tokyo coming out in October. God of War Ragnarok wasn't even on the list, so anybody who thought that might have been coming out this year, I thought that was kind of aspirational, and B, this kind of shows that maybe it's not coming out in 2021. I always thought that that would be more on like a 4 to 5 year development cycle than a kind of very quick 3 year development cycle. But if they're doing it all on the same engine, it could slow or speed up the process is what I'm going for there. There's also a cool mask. Razer is always doing something crazy, and so I always kind of watch these for the technology, peripherals kind of stuff that's going on. You have your 8K TVs and all that kind of stuff coming out of Samsung and Sony, but they had Razer had a really cool N95 mask that had like RGB lights, because you shouldn't wear anything unless it's got RGB. And it also had like a voice amplifier, so that you can actually it had like speakers where like the intake was on your N95 mask, so that people could, so that there's no deafening of sound behind a mask. I thought it was really cool invention. I'm looking forward to it, and always I think Razer does a really great job with all their peripherals, so they always do something hokey and crazy and weird, and I'm interested to see kind of what this is going for. But yeah, like I said, CES is not typically a hotbed for gaming news, but there were some stories, so I'll have a link down below in the description talking about that. Moving right along, a game 22 years in the making. That's right, it has been 22 years since we got our hands on the glorious game, and the glorious and endearing game known as Pokemon Snap. This week, Nintendo kind of floated out there and had a trailer drop for the new Pokemon Snap. So the first one launched in 1999 for the N64, and this one's coming out actually rather soon in April. At the end of April, April 30th, we'll be playing Pokemon Snap. New Pokemon Snap on our Switch. So looking forward to that. I know that lots of people have been wanting to take pictures of their Pokemon, and while they might have been able to do that in Pokemon Go, I think there's just something endearing about the kind of puzzly aspects that go into Pokemon Snap, as well as just like the adorable aspects of seeing them on like potentially a big screen, depending on if you dock your Switch or not. But yeah, I think people are really excited for this, so I definitely think that this will sell a lot of units and be a pretty big game coming out next quarter. Cool. Moving right along, I kind of noticed this one, and I put together my list of kind of games that are coming out for the next kind of 6 months, and one of the things that kind of came up is that there wasn't really a lot of games coming out, and so I saw an article this week that kind of caught my eye, and I sat down and I walked through it, and it was tips for working through your backlog. And so I'm just going to take another minute or so here, and work my way through kind of this tip list, which I thought was really helpful for people trying to get through their backlogs, especially right now when there's not really a lot of time, there's not really a lot of stuff out there. One was take it one step at a time, work your way through at an even keel pace. There's no rush, just as anyone will tell you, it always just takes one step at a time. Just work your way through it, take it easy. No need to rush your way or put pressure on yourself or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, you're just playing video games. So really cool. Just keep an even peel. No need to get all antsy about it. Another one that I kind of liked was play the short games first. If you got a 5-hour game or a 100-hour game, probably start on the 5-hour game. Just get it out. You can cross off the list, and you never have to come back to it. Before you pick up that 100-hour Witcher 3 that you haven't played yet. I'm not talking about me, because I played the heck out of Witcher 3, but yeah, so just start with the short games. Start knocking down the easy ones that you think that you'll be able to get through pretty quickly. Another thing that suggested was kind of co-op play. If the game offers co-op, you and a friend can kind of go through it. I've been trying to do this with like a Divinity Original Sin, because I know that's a big undertaking, and if I have a friend that I can regularly play with, then I can get through it. I'm doing the same with like Fallout 76, as I just want to get through the storyline, but if I have a friend there, then we can kind of keep each other kind of moving at an even pace, and we won't stop and wait around like I would typically in a Fallout game. So I thought that was kind of good advice. that offers co-op, find someone else to play it with, and you can kind of work your way through it. Make a list was kind of a big one, and I just kind of sat down and thought, I don't have like a backlog list that I have written anywhere, so I think I might just take the time this weekend to make a list of like games on my backlog that I really want to play through, and then just kind of, I'm not even, me being an Excel junkie or a spreadsheet junkie, I might like put in the hours it takes to play them, or put on how long it takes to beat, and just kind of get an estimate of how long it will take to play each of these games. And that'd be great. I think that'll work my way. That'll be able to kind of work my way through and have a list, and just kind of work off that list. I think is super helpful. Always make a list. That's one thing my wife has taught me. Next step was kind of take a break from your favorite games or like evergreen games. It's funny that we're talking about backlogs, and I just started up a game that I could potentially play for a very long time, and so it kind of works against this whole idea of like, I got to work through my backlog and get through some of these games I really want to play. But I just started up a game that could, might take me to the end of time to beat. So, take a break, switch off of them. It's okay to put a game down and come back to it. So I thought that was pretty good advice as well. And last but certainly not least, kind of have expectations going in. Adjust the difficulty if you want. If you just want to get through the story, there's no reason to crank it up to max difficulty. Unlike, that's what I do. I always crank it up to max difficulty. But adjust the difficulty, have expectations. Do you just want to go in and like get a gist of understanding of what the game's about? Do you actually want to see what it's like at the end? So just kind of go in with expectations. I think having those kind of set will help you kind of get through the games, and you'll realize that there are games that you don't have to beat to have said you've played them and gotten a good experience out of them. So I thought this was all really good advice. I just wanted to run you through those. I'll have a link down in the description talking about this stuff. It was a cool GOG article, so I really enjoyed walking through that. Also, Razer is doing a bunch of hokey stuff, and I don't think this had to do with CES, but they announced a line of Hello Kitty accessories. So Razer has always been there with kind of PC gaming accessories, and they have this whole Hello Kitty line with like their pink keyboard, and they got their Hello Kitty mouse and mouse pad, and headphones like Hello Kitty's face on them. So yeah, they put out a whole line of Hello Kitty stuff, and so if there's a Hello Kitty fan in your life that also wants to get into PC gaming or express themselves in PC gaming with their cool accessories, Razer, I can't recommend enough. They've got all the crazy stuff, and I wish I had more Razer stuff to kind of show you just all the cool stuff that they're doing. So yeah, I think I'll have a link down in the description below showing you that. Moving right along, I saw a very unique thing, and it caused me to kind of take a moment and just reflect on the marvel of what I was looking at. But I saw a Denim Controller. That's right, jean material, but on a controller. And it even had like cute pockets on it. It was really interesting. I don't know if it was actually for sale. It caught my eye. They called it a Canadian tuxedo too, and I always thought of it as, I don't know how PC it is, but of a Texas tuxedo. I think that was always the thing of like wearing denim on denim was a Texas tuxedo, but they called it a Canadian tuxedo, and this is coming from a Canadian studio or a Canadian group who are making this, or who made the one that exists. But I also thought of like how kind of cool denim is, like just like sitting in your hands. So I thought that was very interesting. Yeah, something zany and crazy and weird story I saw this week. So would you want a denim controller? If you could like wrap your controller in denim, would you actually want to use that? Do you think you would be comfortable? These are all questions I have that you could answer down in the comment section. Finally, PC gaming. You could play PC quality games in a portable Switch format. So on an Indiegogo that I saw this week, you could pay $900 for this like Switch, this kind of Switch-sized PC running console thing. I don't know what all the jargon is or the terms around it, but you could you could have the PC quality gaming on the Switch-sized device. It was $900, which I thought was kind of steep. I don't know that I want to play PC quality games on a small screen, and they're already kind of working on that with like cloud streaming and stuff like that. So yeah, very interesting to see that there might be a market for it. I think that it's already reached its goal or whatever on Indiegogo. So yeah, this will be a thing that eventually you can get your hands on. I mean, NVIDIA Shield was a thing for a while. I don't know if that still is, but yeah, it was running the reel I saw was running Red Dead Redemption 2 at like 40 to 60 frames per second. So it's again still higher quality than like a Switch's native 30 FPS, but yeah, I just don't know that I would want to be playing something as awesome as Red Dead on a 3x5 screen or something like that. So yeah, I just there, but apparently there's a market for it. So let me know if you think you'd be interested in something like that. Coming up in 2 weeks is the launch of the Medium. It had been delayed out of December of last year, and so it's finally coming out to launching on the Xbox Series X and on PC on the 29th. But we got a live action trailer this week, which I thought it was really well done. Like it definitely does the whole horror, like I don't know what's going on, and like it seems very horrible and kind of scary and makes me feel uncomfortable, but it was all done in live action, so I really appreciate. I like live action trailers. I think more games should have them because it just shows that the studio is putting a lot of effort in their marketing stuff. I know that they're expensive and they probably people kind of just sometimes just want to see gameplay, but I like seeing the kind of extra effort to get someone dressed up and to play your character on a live action screen. So I think it's cool, and I let me know what you think of the trailer down below. I'll have a link down in the description. Last but certainly not least, the wholesome story of the week. A bunch of Ghost of Tsushima fans, a game known for its a game known for its picturesque, hard word to say, its picturesque kind of landscapes. A bunch of fans of the game have found out that the actual island of Tsushima was working on some shrine restorations, and that there was a project to kind of give money back to requesting money to help rebuild a shrine, kind of restore it. And a bunch of Ghost of Tsushima fans jumped onto it, and they helped to push it above its goal. Like its goal was like $40,000, and it ended with like over $250,000, like $260,000. So yeah, that was really cool. I saw the really good words from the person who kind of started it up, and they're really appreciative of this kind of community. And again, like I said, it's a very wholesome story of just like fans of a story, fans of a game willing to help restore this kind of beautiful landscape that they saw in the game. So I thought that was a really wholesome story, and I kind of wanted to shed a light on that. So let me know your thoughts down below. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this content. If you do, follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch so you can see more great content like this. Links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super weekend. I hope you have a super day. And I hope you have a super weekend. Bye.